Hello, welcome back to the channel where we continue our discussion about the Brexit saga. Last week I did make a video where I discussed Article 16 and I thought I might have at least a couple of weeks respite before we would talk about it again. Unfortunately, I was being over-optimistic and the next level of stupidity has already hit. So, for those not familiar, the current news is that Liz Truss had written in the Sunday Telegraph in which she had reiterated the position that she is willing to trigger Article 16 because, of course, she learnt nothing from before. So, I've spoken about this before. I have said that Article 16 is a lame duck threat. Pretty much like putting a revolver to your own head. The UK can only harm itself by making this threat. Unfortunately, it seems that Liz Truss is determined to continue doing so. And we can see that from the article that what she reiterates is completely incoherent, essentially. She's saying that there cannot be checks whatsoever between mainland Great Britain and Northern Ireland when it comes to trade goods. Well, of course, you can make that decision, but that decision was actually made a long time ago when Boris Johnson and Lord Frost agreed to the Northern Ireland Protocol and signed up to it. They agreed to it. They've already agreed to that, that scenario occurring. So the question does, arise. If you don't want the checks to occur in the Irish Sea, where do you want the checks to occur? Because, of course, having no checks at all across a border, a trade border, is not normal. It is not what any other country does, and the EU is not particularly willing to agree to that sort of thing. That goods can flow completely unrestricted, unrestrained, and unchecked from the UK into the single market. At the moment, that there are checks on all the UK ports. Well, all the UK imports to the single market. They're not coming the other way because this government has been too incompetent to actually implement them and prepare for them. So really what Liz Truss is doing is making an issue out of something that is completely the UK government's fault. And it's kind of hard to see what the EU can do negotiation-wise other than stand firm or completely capitulate. And it will be interesting to see where the EU goes with this. Unfortunately, Liz Truss is not being entirely truthful. Well, nothing new there, I suppose. She is stating that the impact of the Northern Ireland Protocol is harming the ability of Northern Ireland to have taxation benefits, whatever that means. I'm not sure what that means actually. My speculation is that she's talking complete and utter rubbish. So really, here we are again. Article 16 is back in the limelight. It's back there to be discussed. Threats are being made. There are to be more negotiations next week. Liz Truss is claiming that she has constructive proposals. Of course, she has not at all explained what those constructive proposals are. So I am sure the EU negotiators will be all ears to hear what pearls of wisdom comes from her. I suspect not a great deal, to be honest. And so there will have to be some kind of agreement, some kind of negotiated settlement. And at least Liz Truss has reaffirmed that is the primary objective. But unfortunately, the whole strategy towards achieving that has been somewhat counterproductive. So I'll post a link to the Telegraph article and the BBC article commenting on that in the video description below for those who like to read for themselves. But my immediate reaction to this is that this is more pure politics. This is showboating. This is Liz Truss trying to set herself up as a leadership candidate for the Conservative Party. And bearing in mind that she used to be a Remain campaigner, so she is taking a showboating hard line in order to burnish her credentials as the next Prime Minister in waiting. Something to appeal to the hardliners in the Conservative Party. Whether she will carry out the threats remains to be seen. Whether behind the scenes she will actually genuinely enter into a more constructive dialogue with the EU negotiators will also remain to be seen. But right now, what we're seeing is a lot of noise, a lot of hot air, and nothing that is particularly productive. So watch this space. We shall see what happens. But I have to confess to being somewhat bored and depressed by the whole thing. Here we are, New Year, same old thing, same old rubbish over and over again. And you do kind of wish they would just move on and just get on with all the other things that really need doing. But unfortunately, this is politics, and moving on and getting things done is not the British political way. And so we're going to be hearing a lot more of this in the future.